Mike Williams is back with the team, marking his return after being drafted in 2017. He was the first-round pick when the team made the move from San Diego to Los Angeles. Now, he's back in the fold, and it's an exciting move for the Chargers. This decision really makes sense when you consider the bigger picture. Adding a player like Mike Williams brings continuity to the offense, particularly for quarterback Justin Herbert. It's all about keeping the chemistry between Herbert and a familiar weapon. Think about how Shane Day, the new quarterback's coach, has returned to the team. His connection with Herbert is key. It wouldn't be surprising if Herbert had a hand in this decision, maybe even suggesting the addition of a player he's worked with before. And Williams fits perfectly into that. Mike Williams was one of Herbert's top targets when he joined the Chargers in 2020. The two had a strong connection and played well together over the years. Although Williams struggled with injuries in 2023, his return is still a big win for the team. He's a downfield threat, known for making those 50-50 catches, and a true field-stretching receiver. This gives Herbert another weapon to work with, allowing for more explosive plays down the field. What's even better is the cost. Williams is back on a one-year, $6 million deal, which is very team-friendly. When you look at why he was cut last year, his hefty contract didn't justify his performance, especially with the injury setbacks. It makes sense. Now, the Chargers are getting him back at a much more affordable price, and they're adding a player who already has great chemistry with their star quarterback. This is a move that many fans will appreciate, and it's exactly the kind of signing that fans were hoping for in free agency. While the team is still waiting for that big splash move, this is a solid addition to an already strong roster. The team still has about $77 million in cap space left, so it's clear that there's something brewing behind the scenes. It's only a matter of time before we see a bigger move. But for now, bringing Mike Williams back is a huge win. That said, it's worth noting that last season, Williams only caught one touchdown. It came in a game against the Steelers, and ironically, he scored that touchdown against a player the Chargers recently signed, Benjamin St-Juste. The touchdown was a 35 to 36-yard play that helped seal the Steelers' win in that game. It's a funny little connection to consider. Still, Mike Williams is a key downfield threat. He has an impressive 15.5-yard average per reception, which ranks second among all players with at least 250 catches since entering the NFL in 2017. This just proves that Williams is a deep ball threat, something the team can rely on moving forward. However, it's not all about Williams. There's still the development of wide receiver Quentin Johnston to keep an eye on. It'll be interesting to see how he progresses in his third year. I personally think the team will look closely at adding another wide receiver in the upcoming draft, especially considering the lack of moves at the tight end position so far, except for the signing of Tucker Fisk. We still have a lot to figure out, and it's important to remember that the team has 10 draft picks heading into the 2025 draft. Initially, it looked like they would have 11 picks, but that's been adjusted to 10. There are also 22 free agents on the roster, which means the team has a lot of work to do to fill key positions. It seems like Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh are focused on rounding out the roster now and leaving room for bigger moves down the line. So, who will the Chargers target next? It's still up in the air. There have been some rumors, like the possibility of Mark Andrews coming over via trade, and even the potential of adding Cooper Kupp to the mix. That would be a huge, bold move. But imagine adding Kupp to an already stacked wide receiver group. You'd have 4 reliable wide receivers, each with different skill sets, capable of playing various roles: slot, X receiver, and more. That kind of depth would be dangerous for any defense. Plus, if the team could add a top-tier tight end, the offense would be even more dynamic. But of course, there's still the running back situation to consider. This draft is loaded with talented running backs, so it'll be interesting to see how that position shakes out. Right now, you've got Najee Harris in the backfield, along with Kamani Vidal, but the future of J.K. Dobbins is uncertain. The biggest thing the team needs to focus on, though, is strengthening the interior of the offensive line. It's unclear if they'll go younger with the picks or look to bring in an established player, like a potential target from the Eagles, who could really solidify that line. The next few days in free agency will reveal a lot, and I'm really curious to see who the team targets. We still have plenty of cap space and 10 draft picks to work with, so while it may feel like there haven't been any huge moves yet, I believe the Chargers are making calculated moves to build a more complete roster. These are moves that make sense for now, but we're also setting ourselves up for a solid future. With the draft, we could bring in some long-term players who will contribute for years to come. The goal seems to be to mix in veterans on short-term deals while building a core of young players through the draft. All in all, I'm optimistic about what's to come. But I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the return of Mike Williams and the direction the Chargers are heading? If I were to give a grade on how the team is doing so far in free agency, I'd say it's not been full of splashy moves, but there have definitely been some smart decisions that are helping to fill out the roster. These moves may not make headlines, but they're setting the team up for a strong draft, which could be the key to building a successful future. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how things are shaping up so far, so be sure to drop a comment below. And, as always, if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe. Your support means a lot.